It's modulate time. But before we get to that, tomorrow I'm recording this the day before, is our video, and it will start right at 5 because it's 90 minutes. And I'm not sure if there's another class in there after us. They're letting us use the room starting at 5 o'clock, and we have an hour and a half video. You may have to do your answers online. I will have those online for you, and you can look at them ahead of time. They're pretty clear what we're looking for, and also I'll give you a copy when class starts so that you can follow along, and then you can just email your answers in so that you don't have to take a lot of time with it. If you have any makeup work, you may turn it in tomorrow to me, but be sure you label it and let me know what module it is and what exercise it is, and put your name on it, and I'll be glad to grade it. I'm looking forward to meeting some of you the first time and some of you seeing again, and I think we'll have a good time doing that. When you look at your question for last time, your discussion question, you were talking about what happens to people with dementia. It's happened too often, too long, that people with dementia are automatically put away. It's assumed that you become stupid and that you can't communicate, you can't do anything, you can't wash your dishes, cook your food, do any of that sort of thing. And that's not necessarily true. And what we'd like to do with dementia, especially with some of the new drugs that are in there, is to be able to prolong the activity of the brain where it gets the most use possible for as long as possible, and makes people not feel totally worthless and go in and out of the past and looking at the future and being able to understand where they are in life. And too often people just give up. That may not be the way it should be. They can still live and be functional because they're still alive. There's one place in Modesto, it used to be called the Sundial, and it's on McHenry, and that now is one of the nicest daytime programs for housing the people who have dementia during the day. They can go in there and do all kinds of activities and things, working with social workers, volunteers, people who are there to help with activities and to listen and to give these people a chance to enjoy what they can of life, and also to give their caretakers a break. It's a tough job taking care of somebody who has dementia because they don't remember you. It's sad, and it can be kind of a hopeless, helpless feeling. It's also a good place to volunteer. So if you want to do some volunteer hours for something, you might want to take a look at that facility. Does a lot of really good work, and it's probably the best around. So go take a look at it. They welcome visitors. They don't want you all to come in at one time, but you might want to look at it. But in psychosocial rehabilitation, the idea is that every person, works on what they can work on to be functional. And we need to help people with dementia and their families in giving some sort of dignity and purpose to life for those who are still living people. And it is tough. It's a tough group to work with, and it'll break your heart. Kind of small children and older people with dementia is sort of sad business. Anyway, your answers were good. I enjoyed reading the discussion questions. In terms of your fieldwork report, there are a group of you who can redo it. And one of the questions that you had this week had to do with assessments. When you work with somebody, they may contact you. You may be, as a case manager, contacted to please talk to this person. Or they may volunteer to come in. For the most part, what happens is people are referred to you from a school, from someone in the community, from probation, from some other agency that, is working with them also, but refer them to you to help them come up with some sort of plan. When you look at that assessment piece, one of the things that you missed in doing your report was the fact that you must make that first initial contact somehow to set up an appointment with the person that you're going to be talking to. Sometimes you may even have to get up and go call on them wherever they are. So the 19-year-old that you were talking about, you might have to go to a shelter and see if you can find them to talk to them. That's hard to do, but it's part of the job. Or you may visit them at a friend's house or a relative's house, or you can get them talked into coming in to see you. But then you do a formal or informal assessment or both, wherever you can fit it in. And they help you in that process of designing what they feel will meet their needs. So that assessment piece is important to know, and kind of file away to remember all those kinds of things that eventually you need to know about that person as you assess what their needs are, and as they do a self-assessment to help you understand those needs. Anyhow, your questions and answers are really very good, and sometimes I don't have any comments because what am I going to say? Oh, good job, when you know you got it right and you did it well. Anyway, thank you for all your hard work that you put in. I do appreciate you. Feel free to give me a call, and glad to talk to you about anything that you need help with. See you on Thursday, and I'll look forward to it.